team. Not that we were a bad rebounding team last year, but I think with the depth that we have inside, with the experience that we have inside, the commitment to the weight room this summer, I feel like we can be and need to be a better rebounding team. That's obviously an important part of defending is finishing plays. And the last thing when it comes to our defense is, and again, it goes back to having a more experienced team and a group of guys that have played together. Our foul count has to come down. We were still up around 17, 18 fouls a game last year, and I'd like to see that come down to 14 or 15. And with an experienced group, that should happen. We should be able to bring that foul count down. Our guys have a very good understanding of how we want to defend. They have a very good understanding of what it takes to defend and defend in a manner that we can do it without fouling, and that will be important for us. Our expectations as a staff, and number one, we have to get better, and that is no different than any other season. This is my fourth year as our head coach. I talked about my staff, and our expectations each year is that we get better and that we are committed to getting better. I think this group learned a lot about that last year, midway through December. That at practice, the way in which we approach practice, our commitment to getting better, that has to be our number one objective and our number one goal. It is our staff's number one expectation is that we get better. And because we have a more experienced team this year, it doesn't change that expectation. We have to get better as a basketball team. And every 10 days to 2 weeks, we have to see some improvements. And last year that didn't start to happen really until mid-December. Unfortunately, still enough time to put together a good run, but that has to be and it has been our focus. The guys have to do a great job of playing their roles, and with the group that we've got back, it doesn't necessarily mean that their roles are going to be exactly what they were last year. Those get sorted out over the next 5 or 6 weeks, and once they do get sorted out, and as they develop, our guys have to be 100% committed to playing their individual roles to the best of their ability. And last year, and I think very fortunate for our program, very fortunate for the guys in our program, we had a great example in Travis Brown. As a senior last year, Travis did not start for us, was not playing as much in November and December, and he did a great job with his leadership, adding to the chemistry of our basketball team, continuing to work to get better, and it paid off not only for Travis but for our entire basketball team. And his team-first attitude and accepting the role that he had to play for our basketball team was a real key for us as we went through January and February. And then we expect to protect our home floor. Last year we were 10-4 on our home floor. I think winning on your home court is the road to postseason play. You've got enough opportunities, and if you take care of your home floor, you find a way to split on the road, you're going to find yourself in postseason play. And last year I feel like we did take a step forward in protecting our home floor. We got beaten overtime, we got beaten double overtime, and we lost a 1-point game. So 3 of the 4 games we were in position to win. 13-1, it would have been a very good home record. But protecting our home floor is something that we have to be committed to. And then, and I talked about this last year, no excuses, no distractions when it comes to getting better. Last year we had some injuries, a very unfortunate one to Carlton Reed to start our season. And obviously he ended up missing the year, and we had some other injuries early in the season, some other things some minor distractions. But there can be no excuses to our commitment to getting better. And the bottom line is, that's going to happen to everybody. Each of the teams in our league, there's going to be some injuries. There's going to be some different times throughout the year where you're not playing as well as you want to. That happens to every basketball team. And there can be absolutely no excuses in our attempt to make sure that we are getting better and our commitment to getting better. We've put together a very good, very challenging non-conference schedule once again. I'm excited about it. I know our guys are excited about it. It's part of our philosophy within our program that we are going to go out and play good teams in the non-conference. You know, I think it's the only way to position yourself for an at-large bid is to put together a non-conference schedule where you're going to play against teams that are quality teams. And you have to be willing to play quality teams on the road. You have to try to get quality teams to come and play at home. We also have an opportunity this year to play in the Paradise Jam. So we've taken on another challenging schedule, but it's something that we're going to do each and every year. It's the only way, I think, again, to position yourself for an at-large bid. The league is, I think, is going to be much better than it was a year ago. You know, I think last year the majority of our teams were playing with sophomores and juniors. And obviously that means those teams will be playing with juniors and seniors this year. There's also a number of teams that had some key guys that were sitting out either due to transfer or an injury. So there's going to be some talent in our league that wasn't here a year ago. And I think between those two things, the number of teams in our league that are experienced, the number of teams in our league that had some key guys that were sitting out last year that are guys that could very well end up on the first or second all-conference team, guys that could be newcomer of the year, those type of guys. There's a handful of them out there in the league. And so I just feel like our league is going to be much better than it was a year ago. With that, I would be happy to take any questions.
Ben, given the improvement in the schedule, the betterment of the league, how difficult will it be for your team, you think, to match the expectations?
Oh, you know, I don't know that I've thought of it necessarily in those terms. You know, the expectations are going to change from year to year, and certainly this year the expectations for our team, because we have an experienced group and we have a good team and we have some very good players. The expectations are going to be higher with this group, but the goals, you know, that our team sets each year are no different this year than they were last year when we were picked to finish in the middle of our league. So we don't talk as much about trying to meet or exceed or any expectations that people might have for our team. We spend most of our time talking about what, you know, when I started with my expectations and our staff expectations, you know, our commitment to getting better. And you know, that for us is going to be the road to a league championship. And if that happens, then you know, then we'll feel good about that. But our commitment is to getting better as opposed to trying to meet or exceed any expectations.